Office, like I said, it went from like almost being canceled to being like the number one comedy, and
For
not
a
only
while.
that, like the hottest comedy with people were talking about. It was winning awards. It was all those award shows, and it was
I feel like it was just in the people's culture because I didn't watch the show, but everybody was, that's what she said, or, whatever, some line
Yeah.
from the show.
Yeah.
So many friends today ask me, ask him if I can bring him coffee. I don't even get the joke. But obviously, bringing you coffee or you bringing coffee or something is some sort of joke. Like 5 different people said it.
okay.
I don't. I was working at David E. Kelly at the time, and the British DVDs made their way around, and everybody kind of took them home for the weekend, and we passed them around. And everybody was talking about it, and we really, really enjoyed it. And then, like, the next year, NBC was like, oh, yeah, we're going to do that show. And we're like, oh, that's cool. Well, let's check it out. And then the first episode was like, we've seen this one. We were like, what's going on? So I think mentally I must have put a block up and then never went back. But everybody I know loves that show.
Yeah. And
how do you feel about
it?
Well,
I love it too. I mean, I think it's a great show, and I think that, God, it's been almost 10 years since it was finished.
No.
Yeah, I think this.
Really?
Yeah, I think this spring it'll have been 10 years since we.
God. Okay. Thanks for that. Yeah, thanks for that.
That puts it all into. Oh,
You're on morning radio.
That's great. Kevin and Bean, and. Yeah, I think it's great, but it was really interesting because it really tailed off the last several years. I mean, even when Steve was on it, it was tailing off, and then Steve left, and it really tailed off. And
what does that mean, ratings-wise?
Yeah, ratings-wise, and
it doesn't seem like it ever got any less popular in my mind.
It got a lot less in the last couple of years, and then when it finished, almost 10 years ago, let's say 9 years ago, when it finished, no one was thinking about it anymore. It was just done.
Oh, interesting.
And it was not in the zeitgeist. It wasn't really on that many reruns. It was just like kind of over with.
It went away really fast.
It went away.
Huh. The streamers didn't exist yet, and they certainly didn't play it how they knew to.
I don't recall ever seeing it in syndication either, come to think of it now that you mentioned
it. It was there a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little. But then... Yeah, and then all of a sudden Netflix comes along and they do their little algorithm, investigations, and they're like, oh, this show is interesting with young people we want to attract. And all of a sudden, I don't even remember when it was, 2018-ish, 2017-ish. I get recognized like more and more and more, and like by younger and younger kids, and 11 and 12 and 13-year-olds, and like,
that's good.
Are you Dwight? and all of a sudden it becomes again like, so we went through this explosion in 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, right in those early years, and then again, 10 years later, this whole other explosion, whole new, much larger audience that didn't even know that it was an old TV show or how
they didn't know that part.
No, they just these
popped up on
13-year-olds just turn on Netflix and there's like this show, The Office. They didn't know it was NBC Thursday nights,
Right.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
Had to get that right when I called everyone.
Well, and Carell wasn't a big deal when the show started, right?
No.
So is it that people now then there's that guy I like from the other movies or whatever, and
well,
put that on?
he had just done Anchorman, and then in our first year, he did 40-Year-Old Virgin and Little Miss Sunshine came out in the same year. So he just rocketed to superstardom.
Holy crap!
He didn't do The Rocker. He did,
or that PR tour for The Rocker.
He did the 40-Year-Old Virgin, which made $200 million, and The Rocker made like 6 or 4 or something. So, anyway, but that kept us on the air. Was those early movies of Steve's?